Hey guys, I have a brand new recipe to show you here. This is mushroom curry masala. Yes, you did hear that right. This is a beautiful Indian-inspired dish made with fresh mushrooms and a beautiful curry masala sauce. You don't want to miss this. Check it out. Let's get started. Okay, so here we go. Our first step, how to clean mushrooms. So it's really easy. You just take your paper towel, get it nice and damp, and you just want to wipe off any dirt you see on the mushrooms. Okay, this is gonna be like up to you, because sometimes if I don't see any dirt, I don't bother wiping them off. Okay, but if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. Okay, so now you have your clean mushrooms, and from here it's up to you. Now I like to cut them in quarters. You can cut them in half, you can slice them, you can even do them whole, but I'm gonna do them in quarters today. Okay, just like that. Okay, once the pan is nice and hot, I'm just gonna add a little bit of vegetable oil. And I have this about medium. Okay, next up, I have some diced onions. And you just want to cook these till they're nice and soft and they change a little bit of color to a golden brown. Now it's important to keep the onions moving so that they don't burn. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes and you can see that the onions are starting to brown. Alright, so now I'm going to add the mushrooms. Now you may have seen my other video on how to cook mushrooms properly. Okay, so I'm going to cook these to stage 2, which means I'm just going to cook them till they release their water. This is a wet dish, so we don't need to dry out and fry the mushrooms necessarily, but we do need the mushrooms to let go of their liquid so that their liquid actually adds to this curry masala sauce that we're going to make. And again, I want to keep this all moving because I don't want anything to burn. Now here's the secret to onions and pretty much any dish. And the closer you can get to burning the onion without actually burning it, the better flavor you're going to get out of it. Okay, so that's the trick with the onions. You want to live life on the edge, and you want to fly really close to the sun without getting burnt, if you know what I mean. So keep it all moving. Now if you have a hot stove or a hot burner like me and the onions are getting a little close, what you can do here is just add a little bit of water. And that'll keep the onions from burning. The onions won't get any further cooked than they are now. And the steam from the water will help draw the water out of the mushrooms, because the steam will actually drive more heat into the mushrooms more effectively, therefore cooking them faster. Okay, so at this point, it's safe to add the garlic. So I have about 5 cloves of garlic right here. So these can go in. Garlic burns really easily, so you don't really want to fry it too much, or you might risk burning it. At this point, I'm also going to add a little bit of salt. And remember, if you're a beginner, add a little tiny bit at a time, because you can always add more later, but if you add too much, you can't take it away. So it's better to add less salt than too much salt, until you get the hang of it and you just kind of know how much salt the dish takes just by looking at it. Okay, so now you can see that there's actually more water forming in the pan, so that means the water is coming out of the mushrooms, and this is exactly what you want. Okay, so the mushrooms are getting nice and glossy. They've let go of a lot of water. So now I'm going to start adding our flavoring agents. Now earlier I called this a curry masala, because essentially a curry is a whole bunch of spices mixed together, and a masala is a whole bunch of flavoring agents mixed together. So why not make this into the best of both worlds? Why not add some red curry paste, technically a masala, okay, and why not add some curry powder. Now you can add your own curry powder, you can make the mixture yourself, and that's what's going to make this dish really awesome, is you can really create it and make it into your own. I really like Jamaican style curry. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit in there. And you should make this dish a few times. That way you get to know how much curry to use and how many spices to use. As you can see, that's probably about a tablespoon there, maybe half a tablespoon. And about 2 teaspoons of the red curry paste or the masala. Okay, there's no substitute for experience. Just give this a try yourself, and you'll develop your own curries. You know, if you go to India, every family has their own curry. So there's about, I don't know, like a billion different combinations of curry, because everybody makes it just a little bit different. All right, another flavoring agent, very important, that's going to give it a base flavor, is a little bit of chicken bouillon. And again, I'm just going to do it by eye, but I think that's probably like 2 teaspoons. And you can see that beautiful color now. You can definitely smell it. In fact, I think my neighbors 5 houses down from me can probably smell it right now. It is very aromatic. And you can see how nice and glossy those mushrooms got. I'm going to add just a little tiny bit more water, so maybe like a 1/4 cup, because that'll add to the body of the sauce. And then I want to make this nice and creamy, because what is the best thing about a curry besides the flavor is the texture. You want it to be nice and soothing and creamy. So I have some heavy cream here. If you don't want to use heavy cream, you can use coconut cream. Okay, so there we go. Maybe that was like half a cup. You'll also notice that I don't really measure anything, because we're not baking here, we're cooking. And when you're cooking, it's kind of like when you're drawing. You don't really measure anything. You just kind of put it all together, and it's art, and at the end you get to eat it. Look at this beautiful curry. We want to simmer this for a few minutes. Now we can do 2 things to thicken this. Okay, if you have patience, you can just keep simmering it and just reduce the liquid till it thickens by itself. Or if you're really hungry and you ain't got no time for this and you want to eat, you can use a slurry. Now I'm just going to give it a little taste. Oh mama, boom, that's good. All right, this is the part where you taste it. If it needed a little more salt or a little more curry or a little more spice, you know, a little more flavor, you would add. You could just, you know, this is mission control here. But I've done this a few times, so I can usually get it on the first go. All right, so now I'm going to simmer it. Now this here is a slurry. And what is a slurry? A slurry is equal parts water and starch. Okay, in this case, the best way to mix it is with your clean fingers. Okay, just gently start to mix it. And this is tapioca starch. Okay, you can use cornstarch, but tapioca starch is the best, because sometimes cornstarch actually separates afterwards. But tapioca starch, once it thickens, it stays thick. All right, so here we have our starch, and you just add a little bit at a time. Okay, because this stuff will thicken really quickly. Just a little bit at a time till desired thickness is achieved. All right, I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. That's a little too hot. A little more. You can see how it's getting real thick. And how thick should this be? Well, I think most of us have had curry before, so it should be as thick as curry. That's how. Is that a jerky answer? I don't know. It should be as thick as Alfredo sauce, for those of us who maybe eat bologna sandwiches really often and are not used to multicultural cuisines. All right, so here we go. See, the slurry made it nice and rich and thick. Oh, look at this. And that's it. It's done. Our mushroom curry masala is done. If you're watching this in India and you just heard me say curry masala and you're cringing, listen, it's okay to have new things happen, okay? All right, let's go to the plate. All right, so here we have our steaming bowl of rice. And oh, look at this. Is there any better combination than a nice creamy curry on a bowl of rice? I don't think so. All right. Oh man, look at this. And of course, you got to garnish it, because if you don't garnish it, garnish basically buys you insurance, because it's got to look good, you know, just in case it doesn't taste good. But obviously in this case, it tastes awesome. Okay, a little bit of garnish there. And I'm even going to add a nice flower for you. Okay, there we go. Look at that. All right, this is definitely my favorite part. Oh, look at this. This is the part where I get to eat this. Oh my God, so steamy and glossy. And look at that. Steamy, glossy, delicious, creamy. What else? How else can I describe this? Oh yeah. Oh baby. I want to move to India. Alright guys, as always, thank you very much for watching this video. Please give it a like, and don't forget, if you're not already subscribed, then what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Help me out here. Help my channel grow so I can make new recipes just for you. See you in the next one.